Hi everybody, this is Gail Minogue and I'm happy to be with you again. And today I'm going to talk about setting up for your retirement. All right? Most people think of setting yourselves up for retirement, meaning setting up financial part. Okay, well here you are now, you're about ready to retire. And of course, I don't like that word retire, but we mainly use it here in our society. You're going to get out of the main game and you go into another game. So what can you do as you get closer to your date of retirement? And what can you do if you've just retired? Where do you go? What do you do? And besides doing a lot of travel, or get that out of your system. They want to travel and they want to take a cruise. Get that out of your system because you're going to have a lot of years ahead. And you say you plan maybe for 30 years perhaps of a say corporate life or work life. Now, what are you going to do for the next 30? So when you're going to retire, you want to set yourself up to not panic. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit home and just, paint or do clay? Well, why not? If that's what you're good at and you love to do. But there's a lot of things that you really had wanted to do, but you didn't so far. But you don't want to look at your life now as like, well, I've reached that and that's it. Because I get that from several people. They're completely lost now that they're retiring or they've retired and they don't know where to go or how to go there. So what I would suggest is prior to your retiring, or if you're a new retiree, then sit down and write out 3 things that you truly love to do, or that you always wanted to do, or that if you had all the money in the world, you would do. I want you to write them out. I want you to get out of your head, and I want you to think on paper. The object is to think on paper and don't write a whole page and a half. You just want 3 things. Don't get carried away. We're not going to make this a homework. We want you to start thinking. We want you to start processing, okay, that this is the first day of the rest of your life, and it's a beginning. It's not an ending, it's a beginning. That's really, really important because most people think it's an ending. And then they think I'm older and I'm just gonna, get fat and what have you. And that's not true. Remember, a blueprint is long. So when you're at that period, you're just gonna enter retirement, make sure you know your personal year. And that means you need to know the month and the day added to the universal year. So, for instance, this year, for me, I'm born February 6th. So I would add 2 and 6 is 8. And the universal year is 2024, which is another 8. So I would add the 8 to my other 8. And I would get 16. And I reduce it. I'm in a 7 personal year. So say I was going to retire, or I just retired. Well, I'm in a 7 personal year. It's a year of rest, restoration, planning, reflecting, assessing. That's what you do in a 7 year. You don't go out and get a job. You don't run around and panic. So you don't want to panic. Usually when we retire or we let go, there's some type of money. Maybe it's a pension. Maybe it's just a lump sum. But there's something there, so do not panic. Okay, you're going to reflect, you're going to process, and you're going to put a plan in place for what you would like to do, regardless of whether you had a dime. Okay, regardless, very, very important. Do you need to take care of your health? Better. What are the priorities? I want you to pretend that you are a military general and you have a battle at dawn tomorrow. And if you are going to war in this battle, which you must win, you need to have a strategy. And if you have a strategy, you need to have tactics to support it. So what is your strategy? What are your tactics? Most people don't have a strategy and they don't have their tactics. They're just glad to get retired, and then they could start whatever they wanted to do for the last 30 years, which is unfortunate. Because now we want to take a look at this. Can be exciting even if it appears terrifying. And you don't want to look at all these goofy things about retirement and going off to the sunset. No, we want to plan the next 30 years. So that's plan is to have a strategy, write it out. Remember, the word for you is think on paper. Get out of your head. Otherwise, you will drive yourself into fear and exhaustion. So you're going to think on paper, you're going to take a look at what you love, you're going to restore your body. That's going to be your priority. You can't stay here if you don't have a healthy one. You're going to make it healthy, help it be healthier if you are healthy, keep it that way, and do things that bring you joy. And stop doing things do not celebrate you. One of the things I have with clients is they end up in situations where they don't feel celebrated. They are just tolerated. Remember, the job is to be celebrated, not tolerated. I didn't make that up. I can't remember who did, but it wasn't me. So you want to go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. This will eliminate a lot of waste of time. You want to think of your time now as an investment. You're retired now, and your time is an investment. It's not something to be spent. So you want to look at your time, your energy, and money as an investment and stop spending them. If this is not worthwhile, having, quote, lunch with this person, then it's a waste of your energy and time and money. And the most important asset is your energy. The second is your time. If you have all the money in the world and you do not have energy or time left, guess what? It doesn't matter. You'll end up leaving that money to somebody else. So assets, energy, time, and money, make them a priority. Only be investments. Stop spending them. And that's how you're going to go forward in your retirement. You're going to look at your priorities. You're going to look at the lifestyle you want. Most people do not consider the lifestyle they want. Okay? They think of where they can save money on taxes and cheap housing. What's the lifestyle? If you go where it's cheap housing and no taxes, but I don't like the area, the weather's terrible, or I don't want to deal with that, what kind of lifestyle are you going to have that you love there? You want to go where you're celebrated. Remember that? Keep that in mind. So these are just some ideas if you approached retirement or you're in retirement, you're just starting it. Don't panic. Enjoy it. Give yourself the process. Have the strategy. Have the tactics. Get that year that you're in at that personal year. It's extremely important. Do not plant seeds in the winter. Farmer Brown doesn't go out in the snowy day in January and plant seeds. If you are in a 9-year in your life, right now, personal 9-year, it's an ending, not a beginning. It's an ending, not a beginning. So you don't start a business in your 9-year, okay? And you can clean out your stuff, get rid of stuff. It's a 9-year. So one of the things I always encourage is to look at your personal year if you're entering retirement or just beginning it. It's exciting, and you want to have that strategy. Unfortunately, most of us have a strategy when we leave our 20s. We have no strategy when we reach our 60s other than get me out of this job. I want to relax. I want to play with the grandkids. But what else? Okay, the soul doesn't come here to retire. So those are my words of today. I hope that helps you. If you have questions, please comment. I will definitely answer them. And I always thank you for tuning in with me again.
If you really wanted to live the best life possible, I would recommend reading about numerology and understanding your blueprint. Also, perhaps get a private session with me, attend Zoom, sign up on my website because it will tell you of the next program that I'm going to do, and I think you would be interested in it. I just did a long one on reincarnation. I'm going to be doing a workshop. So these are available. You want to help yourself and understand as much information as you can, and I would be glad to help you with that or point you in a different direction that I think would help you. Thank you.